Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 7, and this will be my breakdown in regards to the information we got from the second part of DC Fandome Explore the Multiverse, where we obviously got various DCTV panels and they talk about their next seasons and stuff like that. And for this one especially, we got the full 40-minute extended panel for The Flash Season 7. And if I'm being honest, the Flash panel wasn't the best in regards to detail. There was a bit of detail, but nothing that we already don't have a brief idea of. But they just expand on the stuff that we already found out about during the first part of DC Fandome. But in this Flash panel, we do also have some interesting storyline details for specific characters. And we do also have Eric Wallace touching upon the Godspeed stuff and the gold boots as well. So be sure to stick to the very end of the video to get as much information as possible in regards to The Flash Season 7. Now 70 to 80% of this panel was more just like a waste of time. It was just a recap for The Flash Season 6. So the last portions of the panel were really the more important parts to go over. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. Okay, so first off, we start off with something in regards to Cecile. Now, Danielle Nicolette was talking about how Cecile's powers were being passive throughout the series, and in Season 7, we're going to see her powers evolve, and we're going to see her struggles with it as well, and might even get into some trouble with these powers. Now, this is a very interesting storyline to go over because her powers were really going to evolve as seen in the Flash Season 7 trailer with her conversation with Top. So seeing her brand new powers would be really cool. This definitely has to be a more interesting storyline for Cecile as well, which is great. Now, Candice Patton with Iris as well has teased some stuff in regards to Iris and her dealing with the fallout post the Mirrorverse as well, and her obviously reuniting with Barry. So it's literally a no-brainer that we would have seen how Iris would be dealing with the Mirrorverse stuff when she gets out of the Mirrorverse. So we already expected her to be affected with what's happening in the Mirrorverse because she's been there for more than 8 weeks and also has been through so many traumatic stuff, and she's gonna go through hell as seen in the Flash Season 7 trailer as well. So just getting to explore that would be pretty interesting as well. Now, Candice Patton said that the West Island will find their way back eventually. So this does kind of suggest that they'll be in a tough spot in the beginning and then gradually make their way back together, since Iris's mind has literally been warped by the Mirrorverse. But we do have some very interesting teasers in regards to Godspeed to go over as well. So it is officially confirmed that Godspeed is one of our main villains for The Flash Season 7 post the Mirror Master storyline. Now, Eric Wallace does touch upon a very interesting teaser as well. And this is what he says. I don't like spoilers, but let's just say there's a certain speedster with a white costume whose clones kept showing up and Team Flash had to deal with it. But we never caught the real guy or girl. But let's just say we might find out that mystery this season. And then he goes on to talk about what we already saw in the first panel. So he talks about how he wants these new generations of villains to appear in the show to, expand that Flash community, as I talked about before. Now, Eric Wallace does touch more upon Godspeed as he starts to talk about the Flash and Reverse Flash, and it is pretty interesting as he says that Godspeed, unlike Reverse Flash, has no emotional connection, supposedly, to the Flash. So the question is, why is Godspeed angry at the Flash? So this is a very interesting thing, and this looks like he will have some new storylines to explore for Godspeed, which we haven't seen before in the comics, and in a way make up this sort of rivalry with the Flash and obviously find out Godspeed's motivations. Because surely it cannot just be he wants infinite velocity. There's supposed to be more of a reason to why he's so obsessed with the Flash. And obviously August Hart, that's not him. And all these teasers just allude to the fact that this Godspeed will have a emotional connection in a way to the Flash, which is very exciting. And it pretty much confirms, as I said before, Godspeed is not going to be August Hart. It's going to be someone who he had an emotional attachment with before to build up that rivalry. Now, I've already done a theory video on this, but I'm going to mention it again. So I always thought that despite the Cobalt Blue stuff and things like that, I thought that there would be a possibility that Godspeed could potentially be Eddie Thawne. And that's just due to how Eddie Thawne's character just ties in with the Flash Season 7 synopsis and with what Eric Wallace has said about Godspeed as well. As the synopsis says, the Flash will ultimately defeat Mirror Master, but in doing so he'll unleash an even more powerful and devastating threat on Central City, one that threatens to tear his team and his marriage apart. So this does tie into the marriage of Barry and Iris and the villain obviously tearing it apart. So who better to do so than Eddie Thawne? Not just that, but as I've said in my previous videos, the Flash was basically praised by the things Eddie did as well. Eddie Thawne, he was literally just forgotten. While Eddie was the true hero during season 1, the Flash took all the credit for that. And instead of praising a detective who sacrificed himself to save Barry, Eddie was still the one forgotten. And the Flash is the one who gets praised and takes all the credit for things Eddie did when he isn't supposed to. So basically, when you look at it from one aspect, Barry pretty much took everything Eddie once had, including Iris. So this could create a very good storyline where Eddie wants to take his revenge on the Flash, so he becomes Godspeed, however they're going to explain that. And then slowly, Eddie as Godspeed is going to slowly take everything Barry has. So he's going to start tearing Team Flash apart, he's going to start tearing his marriage with Iris apart, and also cause havoc in Central City as well. So basically take everything the Flash had in return, including his speed, as it makes sense because his clones keep saying, "We deserve your speed." And also tie it into the mystery with the "one who sent me wants infinite velocity" thing. So that could be a very interesting motivation to explore with Godspeed, and also would kind of explain how Godspeed knows Barry is the Flash as well. So it must have been someone who Barry has encountered before, in which he's revealed his identity to. So could they potentially bring back Eddie Thawne to do this storyline, to do this Godspeed storyline? Who knows? But also, it may not be Eddie Thawne. We also had Eric Wallace tease that Godspeed could potentially be female as well as he did say guy or girl. So that could be a pretty interesting one to cover as well, because I have no idea who it could be if it was a female. Now, another thing to talk about is the Joe West storyline that we got teased before DC Fandome, and I just didn't do a video on it. But essentially, we will start to get these more political storylines going on with Joe due to what's been going on nowadays. This storyline with Joe has to do with abuse of power. So maybe it's something to do with some metahuman and CCPD stuff. So this isn't really much of a surprise at all. And also, most DCTV shows have already explored this political stuff except for The Flash. Like we had so many political stuff with Arrow season 5, and obviously mainly Supergirl as well. But I think Joe's storyline will be pretty interesting as well, and saying that he isn't a corrupt cop, he's genuinely a good cop. It's going to be really cool to see how he combats with the abuse of power. So that's another reason why I'm excited for this Joe storyline. But another teaser we got, which was quite interesting as well, is that Caitlin may possibly get a new love interest for this season. I have no idea who it could be again. It could probably be a totally new guy that we've never seen before, but again, it will be a very interesting thing to explore. But lastly, to go over, we have Eric Wallace talking about the gold boot for the Flash, and he confirms that we will be getting the gold boot. However, he doesn't say when. However, he mentions that he and Grant have been extensively talking about the gold boots and how they need to be earned in a way. So Eric Wallace was saying like the best way to bring in the gold boots is with a story. about the Flash earning these gold boots. So that should be pretty interesting as well. And Candace Patton does also touch upon a very funny comment when they're mentioning the gold boots, where she says that Christmas would be a fun time to get those gold boots. That was pretty hilarious. But yeah, I'm very interested to see how these gold boots come into play. I cannot really think of a story which they could actually bring in the gold boots for. But despite that, I trust Eric Wallace and I'm sure it's going to be great. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought about this new Flash extended panel. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.